This is a demonstration of how to set up frequency alignment on your uBITX version 6. This works only for version 6 uBITX, as we have changed the procedure from the earlier BITXs to make it easier. This tune-up requires no access to any costly test equipment at all. You just need to connect your uBITX to an antenna, and you will also need a computer loaded and running the Chrome browser. At present, our BFO tuning aid, which we will be introduced to in a minute, works only on Chrome browsers and on Firefox browsers. So even if you have an iPhone, just load it with your Chrome browser. It will also work with Android phones and iPhones, except that it just works with the Chrome browser. And before we start, I just want to give you an overview of how we are going to achieve this tune-up in just 3 steps. Okay. These 3 steps are: first, we will do a coarse alignment of BFOs to be able to get our frequencies well in place, and then we will calibrate the frequency with a known source, in this case an AM broadcast radio station, and then finally we will do the BFO alignment, right? So those are the 3 steps in which we will do this. So let's start this. And the AM signal that we are using in my case is an All India radio signal. It's best to pick up a shortwave AM station because it has a strong carrier, and this is at 7380 kilohertz. So that's the frequency that the signal ought to be received on a radio, but it won't be so because right now it's not calibrated. So with that, we will now start and get into this. So before we actually do come to the radio, let's just start here with our browser, and on the browser just search for HF signals BFO tuning aid. Okay, and on this system that you will see here now, it will ask you permission to use the microphone, and you just allow, and as soon as you allow, what you see here is an audio spectrum analyzer, and when you whistle, it will show a clean spike. Watch this. You can even see the harmonics of my whistle. Watch this again. And as I go higher in the frequency, the whistle will also slide higher, which is towards the right. That's as best as I can whistle here now. So one more thing to notice here is that these 2 red lines that you see are actually denote 3 kilohertz and 300 hertz, and our audio of SSB has to fall between these 2. But anyway, now let's get back to our radio. So here is our radio, and we switch this radio on. And when we switch on the radio, we basically come to an empty spot. Right now it's at an empty spot where there is no signal at all. Okay, and now the noise of this radio can actually be seen on the screen as well there. So I'll stop talking so that you can see this noise now. You see, this is actually the area in which you can see a pedestal of noise. Okay, so now what we will do is we will get to alignment of the radio. So the way we do that is we first, I'll just turn the volume down a little bit so that you can hear me over the noise. We just hold the tuning knob down until the alignment and the setup menu pops out. There it is. And here we first go to the BFO because we have to set the BFO to coarse. That's our step number 1. All right. So we do that. And as you can see, the noise character has changed here, and you can see that here as well. Now what we'll have to do is we have to now, you won't be able to see the dial, but essentially turn the dial counterclockwise until this pedestal of noise shifts to the leftmost. Okay, watch this now. I'll keep quiet and I'll start tuning it up. Now you see again the pedestal has started shifting to the right here. I'll again shift it back to the left. There, see, again back to the right. So you go to the leftmost point and leave it there. I'm just swinging back and forth so that you know which point I'm stopping at. Okay, there I go. So that's where it is at, right? So once I've done that, now I will just press this BFO once here, and I have saved the BFO frequency. All right, so the core setting of the BFO has been done now. Next, on step 2, what we are going to do is that now we are going to calibrate the frequency of this radio, and we switch the radio on and off once and tune until we come to the frequency of our desired signal. Now the important thing is that here, do not try resolving this signal properly, but instead just go to the frequency of the signal itself. Now this is where the signal should have been, right? But as you can see that the signal is not coming in properly, but that's fine. You will hear the signal proper only once you have aligned this properly. So to do that, this signal, you can hear this beat tone, right, which is going up and coming down. This has to be set to exact 0. So to do that, press and hold the tune knob again and wait for the setup menu to come up, and this time you choose set frequency. Okay, and now you keep tuning until this signal goes to exact and dead 0 beat. Watch this. Now it's exactly at the dead 0, right? I'll do this again. There it is. Now don't go past the dead 0 point. The dead 0 is where this sound, the beat signal, you can see this beat signal, it just vanishes. And this is also the point where you can hear the AM coming from the radio clearly. Right? Now you press this and your frequency calibration has been set properly. Now you may exit out of this. Or you could actually now straight away go to setting the BFO itself. But let's do that on a clear frequency. We can't do that on a signal actually. So let's exit out of here, right? And turn the radio off again and on. And now we go to the last and final part, which is setting up the BFO. So now we will go back to our tuning aid and before that, sorry, I'll have to switch to the BFO setup of the menu. I'm holding down the tune button again until this comes up, and I press the set BFO. Alright, now watch this, and now I will actually keep tuning the dial counterclockwise like that until the pedestal of the tuning aid moves between the two red lines. So you see the pedestal, that's the pedestal. This will have to move between these two lines. Watch this. Now you see most of the noise is right between these 2 points. So at this point I can now press the tune button again and your BFO is set. So now your micro uBITX is fully aligned and now you can start using it.